Tell me a bit more about OldVelos. What is it and how did it start?
Well, that's a very good question, Jimmy. We started out as an informal group about 5 years ago, where we organised a spin on our vintage bikes in County Kildare. A lot of us had ridden in Leroica in Italy the year before, and we decided it'd be nice to do something similar in Ireland. So we got together and we had an informal spin. But what really brought the OldVelos into being was the arrival of the Giro d'Italia in Ireland in May 2014. A well-known restaurant in Dublin, Velos Interview, had asked me could they borrow a bicycle to put on their window as a display for the arrival of the Giro. I said to Andrea there, I can go one better. I can get you not just any bike, I can get you Fausto Coppi's track bike. Now, I knew a person in Dublin who actually owned a track bike ridden by Fausto Coppi in 1959 in Dublin. So Andrea decided, since we had such an important bike, maybe we'd organise a whole event around it. So we came up with the idea of calling it the Velo Expo. And that was a display of all our best racing bikes, and of course the centrepiece being the Coppi bike. It proved to be very popular. We ran it the week before the Giro, and we decided that what we would do, since it was so successful and with so many people coming to it, that we would organise a cycle to coincide with the start of the Giro on our vintage bikes, wearing our vintage gear, in the style of the Leroica. So we finished the cycle at Velos Interview, where we all had pizzas and beers, and the restaurant was full of cyclists. We all had a really good time. A little bit of beer, a little bit of wine was consumed, of course. And towards the end of the evening, myself and Brendan were talking and said, why don't we make this more formal, and why don't we do this on a regular basis? So we came up with the idea and the name OldVelos, which of course is a play on Old Fellows, since most of us were old fellows, or are old fellows. So we had a logo designed, we set up a website, we started to interact with social media, and we started to generate a following, and that is how OldVelos came about. We now run this event, one event every year, and we also take part in other events around the world, mainly the Leroica type events in Britain or in Gaiole, where the whole thing came about in Italy.